Con Porter, 8-time games athlete, and as Andrew was saying there to me, Ryley Humrighouse, relatively unknown. However, he has podiumed at Wodapalooza before in the RX division. Last year he took a podium finish here, and he won 3 of the 7 events in that division, including the really nasty ones with burpees and thrusters and all the stuff that hurts bad, and that's what Reps Ahead's all about. He also has a 2-0 record in Reps Ahead, and one of the things that Phil is really adamant about is that guys like this, who basically can't make a semifinal because he's not strong enough, that prove themselves in the ring of Reps Ahead, get a chance to go against people who have established themselves in the game season over a long period of time, like Con Porter.
Hey, Brian, you're going to have to tell me this. Riddle me this one, dude. Is it more impressive that Ryley podiumed at Wodapalooza last year or that Con won the games last year on the team?
That's tough. I always say that the RX division at Wodapalooza is like an elite division or a pro division at most competitions. It's so hard to qualify for it. I think you've done that in the past, though.
I have done that in the past.
But you missed the podium by a spot, if I remember.
I sure did. Freaking Gee, dude. That freaking dude.
I have this database on my computer. It has all the reps, the Wodapalooza finishes over time, and I highlighted that in red. Andrew Hillard, one spot off the podium.
Red. Did you see that Con just chalked his sandbag?
Here we go, 10 seconds to the start. It's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds of work, followed by 1 minute of rest for a maximum of 4 rounds tonight. They're going to start with 7 calories on the Echo bike. They have 40 feet of handstand walking that counts in 5-foot sections, so it's 8 reps per 40 feet, and then 7 sandbag cleans. And one of the things that I've been looking forward to since I found out that Con was on this card is, I mean, you've been watching the regional since the regional days. Yes, Con lives to burn it down.
Hey, dude. It's eight reps per handstand walk section, isn't it? He's going to try to put Ryley in the dirt right away. He said so in that press conference earlier.
Yeah, and we've seen athletes do this before. And in fact, the last time we spoke together on a Reps Ahead broadcast, we saw Tudor Mack actually earn a knockout in the first round. So it is something that's possible.
Yeah, but they're not going to go touch and go with the bag. I'm going to say that's a big miss, especially when Con said he was going to try to sprint this first round. And especially considering Ryley is still sticking with him.
When you see Con, he's done 4 reps and he's made a full circle on the floor. How do you explain that one?
I don't know. I was just really caught up with the fact that his shirt was around his face during the handstand walk, and he hadn't considered that either.
That happens all the time where the athletes kick up and the shirt comes down. But despite that massive effort and output on the first bike, it was Ryley who actually got through the first round of the sequence first.
I'm not sure I understand that. Like, did the bike not turn on soon enough? Because Con was going noticeably faster on that first round, but Ryley was not far behind him. I know he got the no rep on the handstand walk, but I'm not sure.
Did Ryley put a fan cover on his bike?
That had to have been it.
Well, actually, on the Echo bike, you will know this as well as anyone. Going super hard that first 5 seconds sometimes can be a little bit of a detriment. Once it clicks past the first calorie, I think that's when it really can kick in.
Correct, and I'm also not aware on how they're setting them up, so there's a real world where they just hadn't turned on yet as well. Con is screwed, dude, because he thinks he was going hard and he's losing.
We still have 40 seconds left in this interval. Phil has a series of athletes in the Colorado area who often test these events. Malachi Bennett is one of them. Malachi Bennett is the guy who Ryley has beaten in his 2 previous appearances.
I was going to push you on that one earlier. I'm like, you said he's 2-0, that being Ryley, but both of his wins are against Malachi.
2-0 is 2-0, but he's got a different opponent on his hand tonight than he's faced previously, and it's definitely a new challenge. Approaching the last 15 seconds of the first interval here, and relatively close. It's just about a rep back and forth. See if they give that last rep to Ryley.
What do you mean that last rep to Ryley?
Oh, I thought I heard a horn. Excuse me.
I thought I did too. And Con just stopped a little bit early. Is there a clock out there I don't see?
We let the reps tick over here. So it's within 1 rep after 1 round. And one thing that we often do see in this format is different strategies that come into play during this 1-minute rest interval. Con immediately bailing the bike to go to the box. Ryley hanging out for a bit on the bike. Explain this face.
Con's looking all right. Hey, I was going to ask you beforehand, there's no box jumps in this workout for the first time I figure ever in the history of Reps Ahead. It's just for sitting. They put that box out there just to sit on?
Yeah. It's like the equivalent of the chairs we had in Colorado.
I mean, seems a little extra, if you ask me, but I like it.
And there was 1 Reps Ahead with no box jumps. They had double unders instead.
Oh, so still bounding.
Still bounding.
Still bounding.
And it's something that Phil and I have talked about over the years, or the last year that we've been working together, is when to introduce some new things. Because, when he's done all the 15 or so non-pro versions back in Colorado, he really has found something that he likes in terms of the expression of the stimulus, which is that he wants this to hurt by the time you get to the 2-minute mark in every round, and he wants knockouts at some point. So he decided finally, here, we're going to do something different. It's not a barbell, a box, and a gymnastics movement that we're used to seeing.
And I was honestly a little worried for him. Like I said earlier, hey, before this started, who would you have figured would have taken this? Between
this
the two
event?
Of them? Yes, between the two of these two.
I wish we would have spoke about it before, and that's probably on me. But I would have expected Khan to go for it early and Ryley to outlast him in about the third round. And I still think that might happen.
You think Riley's going to outlast him?
I think he has the potential to, yeah.
You're talking about a CrossFit Games champ over there. Some might take that as insulting, Brian.
Does that mean you're taking Khan?
I am also taking. What I said in the press conference earlier is I was hoping that Khan didn't win in the first round, because what it's going to look like is quite a bit of pain later on then.
And I mean, look, if there's people who have been watching this sport for a long time like you have, they obviously know who Khan Porter is, and they likely don't have very much familiarity with Ryley Humrighouse. Is hanging with him for 2 or 3 rounds, even if he does end up losing, a win for him tonight?
There is no win except for the win itself. Have you ever seen Fast and the Furious? Doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile, Mr. Brian Friend. Winning is winning.
I wish I had the movie quote recollection that you do. I've seen those movies many times, but I'm terrible at pulling a quote out of thin air like that.
The blessing and a curse. That's all I think about. Khan looks like he's going to be a couple of reps ahead after this round.
Do you anticipate this handstand walk ever becoming an issue for athletes like this?
Oh, dude. I am really looking forward to the Alex Kazan-Haley Adams match, for being honest. Only because I think that Haley's ability to handstand walk will supersede Alex's.
Well, the thing is, I think between the sandbags and the bike that the heart rate really ends up getting jacked. And then when you have to kick upside down like this, as we talked about at that 2-minute mark, the high heart rate and being inverted, it's only 20 feet, which is a pretty achievable distance for athletes like this.
Riley approaching the sandbag for that handstand walk looked defeated. That is not a good look at this point in this workout.
Last 5 seconds of the second interval, and Khan opening up a little bit of a lead. It's always the question that you have to ask yourself at the end of these intervals. If you're not sure if you're going to get that last rep, do you go for it? Because they're only chasing 8 reps. So 1 extra rep, I mean, that it's 12.5% of what you need to do to win the match. But if you miss the rep, it's an extra energy expenditure. It's less time to rest.
If Khan can figure out how to ride the bike this round, he could probably take him out on the next time around. That's what I'm hoping for here. I'm hoping he goes bike, handstand walk, sandbag clean, and then he knocks him out on this bike.
That is the window. I mean, someone like Khan who has this massive power output when he wants to do it, what's the fastest amount of time he can hit 7 calories?
Dude, he could hit it in 4 seconds if he stopped messing around. I don't know what he's doing out there.
And I think that we will eventually see an athlete do that tonight. It could be Khan in this round. 4 rounds is the maximum potential. You see the sequence on the top of the screen there. No matter where they were in the previous interval, they always start back at the top, which means...
It looks like he broke his ankle on that pedal. Sometimes when they're trying to go real fast, they'll roll their ankle, and you saw it with Khan there. I mean, it does not really matter at all. I don't know why I'm talking about it so much.
Definitely an aggressive start here on the bike again for Khan. It's been the pattern, and he gets off the bike quickly, kicks upside down.
Jeez,
fast.
What are they going so slow on their hands for? Do you think he's a CrossFit Games athlete?
Well, the second round, it's definitely, I think, the heart rate. But right now we see Khan is smelling blood in the water again. Every one of those lines counts as 1 rep, and he's got a chance to close this out here. Any mistake from Ryley will likely result in a knockout. And Khan is seeing the reps on the board there and knows that he's within 1 or 2. Look at this. This is what happens in reps ahead. And Phil always briefs the athletes on this. When you're really close to winning, he tells these athletes you're also really close to losing because you have to push the throttle to try to get there.
It makes absolutely no sense when he says it, but it's worked out a couple of times, so I can't argue with him.
Just past the first minute mark, Khan had a window there. I think if he could have strung even 2 or 3 touch-and-go reps together, he might have been able to close it.
This is it. This is what I said. This is the window. He's going to put him in the hole right here. Take him down, baby.
Khan has the chance to do what Andrew prophesized prior to the start of this one. He's on the bike here in the third round.
Is he out? Did he get him? What are you doing, dude? You're just going to stop? What do you think this is, Australia? You're taking a dirt nap in the middle of the day? Oh, my
Khan
God.
Porter seems to be
Confused.
Yes, I was going to say he's in purgatory. He's in two minds. He doesn't know whether to push or whether to call it in. He gets off the bike, kicks up for the handstand. Ryley is still grinding through.
Oh, no. You know, Brian, I wish I had a better idea what's going on. I cannot see a clock, but what I can see is Khan laying in the middle of the floor.
Fails the handstand walk. Ryley Humrighouse up on his hands. Passes him on the handstand walks here in this round.
Is this going to be a 2-1? Is that it right there? I don't know. Nope. Wrong clock. What I do know is that Khan said if he did win this event, he was going to take that $750 and go straight to the bar. Khan Porter looks like he's already had a night at the bar as he just lays on the floor. He's not defeated, but you could have fooled me.
3 rounds are done here. And Khan Porter, knowing he has 1 round still to go, gives a thumbs up, I guess.
30 seconds. Hey, Ryley. Edward Norton looking dude out there. American History X looking over at Khan Porter. Yep.
And I mean,
got some swagger to him.
And obviously he looks much more fresh at this point. He's staring at Khan. Khan's staring at the
Good angle.
ground.
I like that. Over here in front of us, seeing Haley Adams do about 500 feet of handstand walks in preparation for the reps ahead tonight. Khan, you're going to want to get on your bike, dude.
First match of the night, final round. So whether we get to 8 reps ahead or not, this match is going to end in this 2.5 minute window ahead of us.
I cannot believe that Khan did not take him down on that bike. I thought he had him. I don't know what he was doing. It's only 7 calories, dude.
Phil calls it a pendulum when something like this happens, when an athlete gets within a rep or two, a couple seconds of potentially winning, and the other one comes back. We'll see if Ryley can pull the full pendulum and actually knock Khan out in this interval, or if it's going to come down to a rep or two 2 minutes from now.
Dude, he's going to do it. Phil's going to call it again. I really strongly dislike that because it makes no sense. He was about to beat him.
Well, I mean, that's what he's seen over and over again, is that something like this can happen, and it's kind of what I thought. It's like if Khan doesn't take his shot, Ryley might be able to outlast him. We know that Khan is great in these short time domains. He always has been.
Hey, Brian, what is that? Why does that happen? Is it Khan just really tries to go somewhere he's not used to and it never works out for that individual, or what?
It's because you can't go there forever. You can only stay in that place for so long. And
it's like Toys R Us.
And Ryley, when we've spoken with Ryley in the past, he just thrives in this darkness. I mentioned that he's one.
Ryley thrives in darkness?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Thrusters and burpees and pain. That's what he. It was a Devil's Press event last year here that he won.
You're talking my language now. That's why Khan went the team athlete route.
And you see Humrighouse, who was 5 reps behind at this point in the third interval, is now 5 reps ahead, and he has the chance to get the knockout. He doesn't necessarily need it here. He's got 40 seconds, and all he has to do is maintain the lead. So this is a choice that Ryley makes. Do I go for the knockout or I secure the win?
Bada bing, bada boom. Down goes Khan Porter. He's going. See you later, baby.
30 seconds to go. Khan grinding through the last sandbag clean. Ryley on the bike.
He's about
within a rep or two.
All right, well, he's got a
Khan's not getting it started. And
I really wish you would just get up on your hands, dude. Oh, jeez.
Phil's got the horn in the air. A no rep on the handstand walk. Final couple seconds.
What? Victory?
So it's going to go
Game
the
over?
distance. We will not see a knockout in the first ever time we get to see the sequence Mo. But I would say on paper, the underdog, Ryley Humrighouse, against the 8-time games champ, Khan Porter, takes it the distance, but takes the match and extends his record to 3-0.
Hey, you know what I don't like, Brian? I don't like a humble CrossFitter. I know you were at the press conference earlier, but there was not one thing about Ryley that made me think he was going to beat Khan. Not one.
No confidence, no trash talk.
No confidence, no trash talk. He just did it. I wish I would have had a better idea about that.
For you, what's worse, a humble CrossFitter or a humble YouTuber?
Oh, there's no such thing as a humble YouTuber, Brian, so can't be the worst one there.
Well, Ryley Humrighouse is absolutely a good dude. He's also incredibly fit.
Where did he finish in the Open last year? Do you know?
I can't remember the Open, but I know in
quarters.
In quarters, he came within maybe 20 spots of making it to semis. It was just the heavy lifting every time that gets him.
I guess we can ask him right now. Awesome.
Welcome into the booth, Ryley. How did that feel?
Not bad until round 4 started.
Ryley, can you hear me?
Yes.
How did that feel, Ryley?
Yeah, it was okay. So that round 4, and you're tied, and it's basically 0-0 in the first round again. It's just who can grind it out a little bit more.
Well, you're telling me you didn't feel bad till round 4, but how about Khan? It looked like it felt bad for him at about round 2.5.
That was a little bit of a confidence boost, not going to lie. If he was walking around with his chest up a little bit more, it probably would have mentally hurt me just a tad, but he was struggling.
Extend your reps ahead record to 3-0, but did it on the big stage against an 8-time games athlete. How does this feel different?
I'm competing this weekend as an RX individual, and as this was approaching, I became more and more excited for the Wodapalooza competition and more stressed about this. Just because RX individual, you know that there's a ton of other people there and you can, kind of place top 5, place bottom 5, so what? With this, it's in front of everybody, and I know everybody's going to want to watch Khan, which means as a byproduct, they're going to be watching me, and that's pretty stressful because I've never done something like that before.
We'll keep you on here for a couple of minutes. But we're gonna bring the girls out for the next match. So catch your breath for a second, and we're gonna ask you a couple extra questions here when they come on.
All right.